Well, there's a snake in the workshop, a red-bellied black snake. Here in Australia, red-bellied black snakes are poisonous. So we are going to go into the workshop carefully. We've tried to move the snake on with an air blower. Hopefully it's gone. We can't see where it is. Jay's been in there trying to make everything safe. We've got to get on with Rock Friday today. So we've got rocks to take out of the polisher. I've got, I think, number 6 is at 220 grit at the moment. That's got to be taken out, rinsed off and gone through and checked. And then if that particular group of rocks is looking good, we've got our petrified wood in there, so we're keen to have a look at that. The number 5 polisher, the number 5 tumbler has got polish in it. It's been in there 2 weeks. I'm a bit shaken up by this snake, so I'm not really concentrating. But anyway, that's what you get. It's live. Let's go in the workshop and see what the tumblers are doing. So the snake has kind of gone in under that shelving, in behind there somewhere. We'll see how we go. Hopefully it's gone underground, under the concrete, or outside of the shed out to the creek. We'll see how we go, but we'll stay safe and vigilant. Got the boots on in the workshop, the long pants. Concrete's pretty clear. If it comes out, we'll see it. So let's get on with the rocks. I think it's a room. Oh, we heard something rustling just in the bushes here.
There we go. Hello, darling.
Oh my gosh, this is our boundary. Hello. And we have got a big kangaroo there. Hello, you. Don't know if you can see him through. It's a big roo, so it's definitely a male. There he goes. I'm sorry to disturb. Headed over. That was a startle, a bit of a surprise. Whiz, gee whiz, whiz, gee whiz. Snakes in the yard, kangaroos in the yard. It's all happening, but we'll leave them to it. That's nature. But just come out to see what Jay's up to before I do my tumblers. So you've got 2 piles here, Jay. One.
Yeah, they both come out of 80 grit.
80 grit both piles.
Yeah, I'm just going to sort them now to put one group into 220 probably.
Oh, look at some of those. Look at some of those. Can I have a play with your rocks?
Sure.
Thank you. Oh, look at those. Wow. Jay, what are these? They look amazing. Let's just call them beautiful rocks today. There's just so many, you know, we sort of know the names when we sit down with all the books in front of us to identify them. But when you're actually in the moment, it's just a learning curve. That's an agate. Right, very
I've got
nice.
to get the grit out of that because before I put it to the next stage.
Yes, you must. You know, like I said in one of my previous videos, if the viewers want to go back and have a look, you must scrub the grit out of the crevices before you start the next process. Look at that.
So we get the grit out and water the garden at the same time.
You do. We put all the water back into the garden. Now, for those that wondering what we do with rocks, we do lots of things with the rocks. We sell them in batches, or I make little bracelets like this where you can, you know, like glue on the little pieces and stuff like that. Jewellery, craft, all sorts. This one here, gosh, look at that. Clear, beautiful. Look at that. Very nice. And some others here.
And that's an agate.
Stunning. Got some really interesting ones here, some really lovely. You know I love the green rocks.
That's a moss agate.
Moss agate.
There's another smaller one down there. Moss agate.
Smaller one down here.
No, that's
This one
here. Ironstone, those two.
Wow.
Ironstone.
Oh, look at that green. Just amazing.
That one there, that's a good one.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful, just beautiful. Some really pretty stuff in there. Well, I'll let you get on with that. I'll go and see what my polished tumbler number 5 is doing and give that a rinse and get it burnishing and show the good folks. Number 5 is going to come out first and we'll see how we go. Well, it's a hot day in Australia too. As you can tell, we've got our t-shirts on, our hats on outside. I'm in the shade. There are some flies. So I've got this new thing here, which is a little fans that blow around and keep the flies off your face. Because once your hands are in the rocks, it's really hard to keep swatting flies. Anyway, we'll get number 5. That's been in the polisher for 2 weeks. We'll get that cleaned up and show you how it goes. Rightio. Well, we'll turn the tap on first. That might help. Turn the tap on. Let's give the lid a rinse. I'm pretty sort of excited about this one. Always make sure I clean my lid thoroughly. I don't like it all to build up and sort of make that claggy, concretey sort of look. And we'll tip this all out, give it a good scrub. Wow, very nice indeed. We'll give this a really good scrub. Like I have seen some people just not that fussed, but I like to keep my equipment clean, tidy, washed, and the grit is then washed out, the polish is washed out in this situation. There's no residual in there. It's very, very important. The burnishing process also kind of ends up taking a lot out, and you'll see that, and you may have remember seeing it before if you watched the other videos. A lot of the time when you rinse off your tumblers and that and you put them into burnish to give the rocks a wash, you can kind of see just how much more comes off. So it's just an indication. I mean, each of these ceramics in here, I mean, they need a good rinse off too. It's not just the rocks, but by goodness, they are looking good in the basket here. Now, remember, these have been in for 2 weeks, and the particular rock of interest was this rock. This is the one that was found at the beach. I'll give you a better look in a moment, but that was just the one that I was polishing there. That's a really good rock. Now I use a metal strainer on the sink, in the sink drum, and then I use a plastic strainer so it doesn't scratch the rocks. You kind of think it doesn't in the steel strainer, but it does. I used to use this strainer, but I don't use it very much, especially when the rocks have been in the polish. It's the last thing I need is scratches, and that is why I use a plastic strainer for the rocks in particular. Now let's have a better look. Now this is the particular rock that I'm following in the tumbler, in this tumbler. It has its polish, it just feels so smooth. It's a pudding stone, it's just gorgeous. This is a rock I found at the beach, and I've been following this particular rock in its tumbler journey for about nearly 5 weeks now, I think. Absolutely spectacular. So that's going to have a burnish, cleaned up, and we'll see how it goes when it's all done. This is the other one. This is just a nice little breccia conglomerate type rock. Just look at the details in each of those pieces in there. This is thousands, if not, millions of years old, for it to be compacted in that way. Just a beautiful, beautiful rock. These are going to be great display rocks, coffee table rocks and things like that. Look at this one, just gorgeous. Just a beautiful colours in that. This could be a necklace, some sort of a jewel, can be cut and sliced in half. Just beautiful. And we've got some others in here. Look at this beautiful black. It's almost like a dark greeny black, bit of green through, just that really nice colour through. Oh, spectacular. So many. Look at that. These are all so smooth. Like, these are smooth. I'm talking, smoother than a baby. These are so, so beautiful. Look at this one. Seen this one before the last few weeks. Just beautiful. That is a beautiful, beautiful rock. Just gorgeous. And the colours, I mean, what can I say? Just incredible. Beautiful. So many there. I've got the ceramic in there. That just softens everything as it spins around in the tumbler. Look at that. Just divine. What else have we got here? Oh, this is a nice one too. Very nice, this one. Lovely. Let's take them back inside, get some borax in there, get them back in the tumbler, keep them wet, and get them spinning around for their final cleanup in the burnish process. And that'll take 2 hours. So I'll show you final results when they're done. Tumbler number 5. So we're going to have a look at number 6, and that's got the petrified wood in it. Now that's been going at 220 for 1 week. So here we are. Again, we are thoroughly cleaned out the tumbler. The tumbler should look like this. Look at that, nice and clean, no residual. Oh, look, you can see me on the bottom holding the camera. that's how your tumbler should look. Your lid should be nice and clean, really clean. Get all those edges clean. Make sure that there's no grit stuck on there. Give it a good rinse. Beautiful. Keep your equipment nice. And I use a little brush, just a little sort of a wire-ish soft brush, kind of like the bristles are like a hard toothbrush. So we've given these a light rinse. I'll keep rinsing some more, and let's just have a quick look. This is the piece of petrified wood that I've been following. Now, as you can see how it's got like a milky sort of a residual to it. Well, that's just some of the grit still. It needs a little bit more rinsing, so we'll keep going with that. Give it another bit of a rinse. Make sure that everything is thoroughly cleaned before we put it in for burnishing for another 2 hours to get some of the 220 grit off. And then from there on, we'll have a good look at them, make sure that there's no flaws, no cracks and things like that, and then put them into 600 grit and take it on from there. Okay, we've got the borax in there. I burnish with 3 tablespoons of borax. I don't use soaps or anything like that. I prefer the borax. I like the feel of it. It doesn't have a sort of a sticky, oily residual. It just comes out really nice and clean. So let's get this back onto the tumblers for 2 hours. And then Jay's doing her rocks over there. That's all happening. So busy day in the workshop when it comes to a rock Friday here at Casa La Brun. So remember also that I do write everything up on the board. I've got that board there. We've started a new month nearly, so can't believe January is nearly over. So I'll be writing on there 5 and 6 what is in the tumbler and what to do next, and that's just a good way for me to remember. Everybody has their own system. But let's get this back on the tumbler, spinning around and around for 2 hours. So what I do while I'm waiting for the tumblers to finish burnishing, I know that tumbler number 5 is going to be a free tumbler after today. So I am trying to decide which rocks to put in next. So this is the grey grouping that I'm thinking about. I do like the greys. Obviously some earthy tones in this one. Got some big ones there, but they don't go in the tumbler. They're too big. And then I've got some other mixture of creams and greys and a couple of little earthy tones. So I divide my rocks into sort of some colours and in this instance greys, earthy tones, and sort of more on the sort of golden hues in this particular basket. I've got some other ones here which I will tumble at another stage, but they're quite large, so I tend to mix them in with some other types of rocks, just as one large one here and there amongst a whole bunch of medium-sized rocks. Jay's going through her assortment there, trying to figure out which ones she's going to put back in. How you going there, Jay?
Yeah, good.
Good, yeah? You're sorted, you've got yourself happening there, you're picking out your rocks. What have you got there?
There's one. I'm not quite sure whether to put that in a bit longer now. It's got a bit of a nick on the side here, but...
Okay.
And I love this stuff on that side.
Yeah, look, everyone's different, everyone sees different beauty in different rocks. Some people might say, hey, I don't want anything that's got little nicks in it or little, flaws in it. I want perfection. But sometimes those imperfections are the beautiful parts of the actual rock. That is gorgeous.
That's ready to go to the next stage now.
That is beautiful. Very nice indeed. You have got some beauties in there. Absolute beauties. Oh,
that's
wow.
Pretty, isn't it?
Let's focus that a bit. Oh, wow. I mean, how can anyone not love to see that? That is just divine. Almost reminds me like a shark's tooth. That'll be a nice necklace, a nice pendant. That'll be beautiful. I could just see, some sort of a necklace made out of that, wearing some nice sort of beach attire, having a beautiful necklace just hanging there. Just beautiful.
Earthy tones. Love it.
Very, very nice, happy tones, aren't they? Yeah, well, I'll leave you to keep going with that and see what I go through with my pile, see what I'm going to get in tumbler number 5, and take it from there. So in the workshop, we've just got like all these bits and groupings. This is stuff that we found metal detecting, and we group it like we've got bits of glass there, bits of glass here, and then just like all bits and pieces of rust because we metal detect for history, and we have to clean some of these things up for the actual landowners who give us permission. Some of them like to keep some of these things once they're cleaned up just as ornaments and stuff like that. They look like a pile of rubbish at the moment, but honestly, when even like this bolt, when this bolt is cleaned up, it's almost like a piece of art. It's just wonderful what people can make from some of these sorts of things, and I'm starting to kind of think about the types of crafts I could do with some of this sort of iron rubbish, if that's what you want to call it. Rubbish art is always awesome. Now look, while I was thinking about what rocks to put in, this kind of crossed my mind. In this container I thought perhaps some of these ceramics could go in a tumbler, so I'm kind of going through them, and I'm going to tip them out and see if I could perhaps tumble some of these ceramics. Just the smaller pieces, obviously, not the very, very big ones. But look at that. Look at these beautiful things that could fit in the tumbler. Look at these things. Some of them are a bit too big for the tumblers. Some of them are okay, but I think I could almost have a tumbler's worth here. And that would be something really interesting, because I have been keeping these pieces to do a mosaic, and some of them are sharp, so I have been thinking about you know, just taking that sort of sharp edge off. So yeah, maybe I'll put these in tumbler number 5 just for something a bit different. Okay, well, I have decided to do number 5 tumbler with some ceramics that we found out metal detecting, and look at some of these. I mean, they're just going to come up a treat. I've got some here that are double-sided with colours. Just going to take the sharp edges off. Look at this beautiful thing, double-sided again, a pattern here, a pattern there, obviously some sort of a teacup perhaps. It's got lovely round edge there, beautiful pattern on this side, beautiful pattern on the other side. Yeah, some of these have got double side. Look at that. Now it just needs that edge taken off with a tumbler. So going to pop some of these. This would have been a cup handle. Kind of matches the pattern on this. So I would say that these two probably once were, you know, a cup perhaps and a plate, similar pattern perhaps, not too sure. Look at that. I mean, that's just cute. That's just going to have a nice little edge to it. So yes, I've decided number 5 tumbler. We'll get some old pottery that I found, old china and things like that that we have found metal detecting, and that'll just spin around for a day, and then we'll have a look and see how we go. Well, the kangaroo is back, so I wanted to show you. Have a look. He's in the yard. Can you see him? Only in Australia. He's a very big boy. We aren't going to upset him. He is huge. So the big tail is his biggest weapon. That's what he kind of leans back up against to support his own weight. And yeah, the big claws. Look, they aren't aggressive animals, but obviously like any animal, if they're cornered or confronted, they will be upset. Now I think he's come in our yard because it is hot and he is looking for water. He is very, very close to me here, right next to our barbecue, next to the frangipani flowers. Doesn't seem too perturbed, but I think he's after water. Yeah, I'm just up here, Jay. I think he's looking up at the Aussie flag. He's a proud Aussie, as are we. That is our national flag. I'm very proud of that flag. Look, there he goes. He's looking at me now, kind of wondering, who are you? Yes, they don't get hunted here, so they are not afraid of us. But he is going to have a really good look around the yard. Amazing. Look at that. Folks, he's over in the garden at the moment, so we're just going to leave him there. I'm going to head back over this way, get out of his vision. He's going in behind the caravan. Hey Jay, Can you put a bowl of water out, please? Just somewhere on the lawn there. Give him a drink. Now, isn't that just an amazing thing to have in your own yard, only in Australia? Wow, there he goes while he's eating. Obviously green grass is something that's a favourite of theirs. And check out those amazing big kangaroo testicles. Wow, I bet you he can make a lot of kangaroo babies with those. And that's nature for you. It's just a natural thing. He's very happy to be there. He's not afraid of me one bit, not one bit. We often wonder what happens to our vegetables, and now we know. I guess these guys come along when we're not home and eat away at all the vegetables. Jay's popped a bit of water on the grass down at the other end so he can have a drink. I do have bird baths, but some of the kangaroos sometimes tip them over and smash them, and that is why I do mosaic. I tend to mosaic over the smashed, broken bird baths. So that is interesting. He's a very big boy. Well, folks, only in Australia, right? Look, I've decided to leave him alone and let him eat as much grass as he'd like. Got a bowl of water on the ground for him over in the shade as well. Sometimes these kangaroos just kind of stay, and there's no point in trying to move them on. Once they decide that they want to stay in your yard or be in your yard, well, there's not much you can do. You just got to be careful and let them do their natural thing. They're harmless, really. I'm going to get on with burnishing. Let's get back to rocks. Right, we are back in the workshop. Just looking up on my board over there. Let's just take out the number 5 tumbler. The number 5 tumbler's coming off, and that's been burnishing for 2 hours, which is a cleaning process. We're going to take the lid off, take it to the tap, give it a good old rinse, and see how it's looking. Right, just going to take that lid off. Let's go to the tap. Super hot now. The sun has come across, so there's no more shade. Got the old fan on just to keep the face from getting too hot and sweaty. And we are rinsing out the burnished tumbler number 5, which is the final polish stage. So what I do now is I put the rocks into a container of water to keep them wet, and I can have a final look at them. Just checking behind me to make sure the kangaroo's not back there. And the ceramics I'm going to take and put in the sun to dry. So the burnishing process not only takes the last residual from the actual rocks that have been finished, but it also cleans the ceramics, you know, the little pellets that we use to add bulk to the tumbler and to cushion the rocks as they spin in the tumbling process. So let's just get all of these rocks in there. It's quite a lot of fun. I mean, you either like rocks or you don't, but it is a lot of fun. I never really got into it initially, but then when you're out metal detecting, you're always looking at the ground, and you start to notice, especially beach detecting, you start to notice some of the beautiful, beautiful rocks that are there. So you sort of can't help yourself but to pick them up. Rightio, so we've got all our ceramics in there, as you can see. They'll just stay out here and dry in the sun, and they'll go into a container. They were used for the polishing, so I keep my ceramics for polishing in a container marked polished ceramics, and then these rocks will take in the workshop, have a good look at them in there, and come along, let's go back in the cool. Look, before we go in, we'll just go and check on the kangaroo, and I'll spin you around, you can have a look. Yep, he's still there, chomping away at the grass, so we'll just leave him at it. Enjoy your lunch in my yard. Good on you. Isn't Australia an amazing country? Okay, we are back in the workshop, nice and cool, not too bright. Now, this is the Wow Rock. That beautiful, beautiful rock from the beach that I found. Just spectacular. That is finished. It is finished. The process of tumbling, the process of everything. I will dry that off, and look at this one. Wow. Yes, I'll dry them all off and they'll be finished. They'll go into a bowl for a beautiful table display. Look at that. Look at that. Upsy daisy. So a couple of these are mine, and the rest have all been ordered, so they're all part of an order. This one will stay at the house. This will also go in for a display. How beautiful is that? Wow. Look at that. Bit of quartz in there. Just glorious. And remember, they're all just beach rocks, the regular rocks you find at the beach. Look at that beauty. Just magnificent. The colours, what can I say? Just incredible colours. So many, so many. Look at the lines, look at the beautiful markings. Wow. That one almost looks like it's wrapped in leather. It's just beautiful. And they are so smooth. This is just such a smooth feel. This would have to be one of my favourites as well. Wow. Just magnificent. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. That on the bottom. Stunning little circle. So many interesting little things to see. I never tire from looking at them. Oh, Jave's just joined me. She's popped her lamp on just so I can get a bit more light on it. Sometimes it's very difficult to do everything with just two hands, especially when you've got water. Mobile phones and water don't go very well. I don't want to drop it in there. Look at that. That is just so smooth and so shiny. That is just beautiful. Look at the green through there. Oh, wow. That would make a beautiful necklace. I could just see that on a lovely leather strap being worn through the autumn, you know, crispy, cool days on a lovely sweater. Just gorgeous. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Some beautiful rocks, never ending. Even the small ones. I mean, look at the beauty of those markings. Right. Well, that's pretty much them. Got a little pile over here looking fantastic. They're going to go in a bowl, and this process is done for this batch of rocks. So this rock, going back to this one, literally started as a stone on the beach on a nice sunny day when we went down, picked it up, brought it home. 5 weeks later, it's going to be a showpiece on the coffee table. How magnificent. Just stunning. And the next thing we've got to do is we've got to head over here and clean up tumbler number 6, and then put 600 grit in there. And then tumbler number 5 is going to have some pottery in there. So I'm happy about that. So that's going to be probably the next thing that we'll do. And then I'll rinse off number 6 and put some 600 grit in there. So let's get that done. Okay, going to do some tumbling of some things we found out metal detecting, which is just bits of china and stuff. I don't think we'll put that piece in. That's very thin. Let's just put some of them in. And they'll tumble just for a day. I'll check them tomorrow, see how they go. Shake that up a bit. I think we've got room for all of them. Get them all in there. Yeah, why not? Even the little bits, we'll get the little bits in. And just to get the different sizes in, it helps in the tumbling process. Bring them over. Give it a good old brush down. Now I've got this thing here which kind of gives me the level. I put this round plastic thing in, and if that's level with the top of the tumbler edge, I know that that's enough in there, so I don't have to add any ceramics. So that is my little guide for level. I'll add the water just a little bit below the top or this row of tile chips that you see, and then I shall put some 80 grit in there and pop it on the tumbling machine for a day. We'll get 2 scoops of this in 80 grit, and let it go 24 hours. Let's hope that sharp edge from all the pieces gets all polished out and we can use it for a mosaic. Tighten it nice and firm. Too easy. Rightio. Well, number 6's turn. We've got number 6 off the burnishing tumble for the last 2 hours. If I can get the lid off. Hang on, I'll have to use 2 hands. So number 6 has had 2 hours in the burnish, and see how it's all milky and all that residue that still comes off the rocks from you know, using the borax as a burnishing wash compound. So still a lot of muck comes off. So it just goes to show you've just got to do that process if you want good quality shiny rocks. So we're having a bit of a look. Yes, I think these will all go back in the tumbler, back in there one at a time. I like to have a bit of a look at them. They are magnificent. Back into the tumbler with 600 grit, which is the next process. And this is that piece of petrified wood that I'm polishing up. Just gorgeous. And the other piece de resistance that I'm really liking is this one, and that's also going back in. They've still got a bit of a rough feel to them. Not too bad, they're smooth, but they certainly need a few more weeks to really feel lovely. Look at that, just amazing. So they'll all go back for another week, 600 grit, and then the process starts again next Friday, which is our, what we call Rock Friday. So Rock Friday, this is what happens on Fridays. Everything is on a weekly process, and that's just how it is. That's the way that I know my plans for the week. Look at that, just amazing. Yes, it's a matter of being organised. We do a lot of metal detecting for landowners as well, for history reasons and stuff like that. So got to have a schedule, got to have a plan, and it suits everything. So these are going back at 600. So I'll be using my 600 ceramics because I'm putting 600 grit in there, so that's just the way I like to do it. Everyone's different, so I put a few of those in there. Give the tumbler a shake, a bit of a bounce. Get the ceramics to sort of mix in with the rocks. Get my little measure thing, make sure that things are level. I'll probably do with another layer of ceramics on there, so put some more in. There we go. Yep, look, that's the right level, feels right. That should do it. Grit's next. Right, we've got our 600 grit in there. We make sure all these containers are secure. So that's how I keep it. I keep 600 grit and then 600 ceramics that I use just for 600 grit. We pop the lid on this, get it all tight and firm, and get it on the tumbler. Spin it around for another week. In the meantime, let's go out the back in the yard and see how our kangaroo is doing. Well, I've just come out to check on our kangaroo visitor. He's just over in the shade, over that way, straight ahead, underneath the tree in the shade, having a lie down. There's a bowl of water on the grass for him. He's got plenty of green grass to eat. He's just a great big kangaroo, and he is staying here. Once they decide they want to be here, that's all you can do is let them be here. So have a great afternoon, Mr. Kangaroo, and enjoy your stay at Casa Lebrun. Well, folks, what an interesting day it has been. Wow, what an interesting Rock Friday. Kangaroo is lying there behind me. Unbelievable day. Still haven't found the snake, so wherever it's gone, it's gone. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's very different. We do some amazing things in our area, so we are very fortunate to live in this glorious country, Australia. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for hopefully staying the distance of this lengthy video. It's just been great. It's just been so great to share this with you. It gives me so much joy. Thank you to all my subscribers. I've hit over 1,000 now, about 1,080 subscribers. If you've thought about subscribing, please do so, because I would really enjoy that. It just spurs me on to keep dishing out some videos, different things that we do, things that I like to do, things that I like to share with you, and stuff I'd love to, take you on the journeys and the exploring we do in metal detecting, in craft, in rocks, in things around the house, some cooking, gardening, all that sort of stuff, just normal stuff. So let's say bye-bye for now, and we will catch up again soon. I'm sure that Big Bruce is going to be here for a while. Oh God, I think I need a cup of coffee after all this activity. Hey Jay, put the kettle on. Put the kettle on, Jay.
Hey?
Put the kettle on.
Righto.
Oh, God. Kangaroos, snakes, it's all happening. It's all happening. What are you doing? Working. Recycling. What an exhausting day. Can you believe it? Kangaroos, snakes. What's missing? Koala? I don't know. Yeah, there is. Wow. I'm going to go inside. I'm going to go put the kettle on. Time for a cup of tea.